Congratulations, you made it so far already. Look at that bag. It already also looks like you could catch some fish in there by now. But be proud of what you've achieved so far. That's really cool. So this is the status we're starting on from today, and we are going to crochet now the top border. It will be similar than what we've worked on the bottom. And then in the video after, we are going to start on the border that wraps around. So with that, I'm switching the camera and you can follow along. So as always, we start with our chain stitches. We do 4 chain stitches here to start with, because we're now working again in double crochets, and instead of the singles we worked here on the mesh. So 4 stitches to simulate your first side stitch basically. And what you're going to do is repeat the following pattern. You work 1 double crochet into the 1 chain stitch that sits between those columns here of the single crochets, and 2 atop of every single crochet. Again, we're working into the back leg of the stitch here, because what we want to achieve is this nice little line that runs across. So we're mirroring that on the top. Let's do the first 2 repeats, and then you can continue by yourself for the remainder of the round. We're working 1 double into the back. Now we're working 2 doubles into the top of this single. In the end, that leads us back to exact the stitch count we started out with. So another double. And again, because we're forcing the fabric to increase here, making more stitches than in the previous round, you have to keep smushing them together. So in the original bag, the pattern is really tight, so that's the reason why I chose to work it this way. So we achieve this really nice texture. I tried different things. I also tried weaving and so on. Nothing looked quite right to me, so I did it like this. So we did work 1 double stitch, then 2 double stitches into a top of this single crochet. Now I've worked another double into the middle, so the connecting chain stitch, and now we're working 2 again into the back loop. So we've completed the first round. You have on both sides your side stitches, and in between 80 double crochets on the back side and on the front side. And then you've joined the round again with a slip stitch to your first side stitch. For the second round, we're doing 4 chain stitches again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we are just going to work 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets we already have. We always pick the back loop of the stitch so that we create again this little line that you can see here. We just do that once around, and we connect again to the slip stitch, and then that was that already. Amazing! We finished the second round, and this is what your piece looks like now. It's fanning out at the top because, again, just a reminder, we have now more stitches here than we have below in the mesh part. So we're giving our bag a little steam block again. If you haven't done so, please also steam block the mesh part, and you can pull a little bit with the mesh and then press inwards with the borders, and it will nicely come together. Another tip is, if you have a wooden, like a regular kitchen cutting board that is a little bit broader than your mesh part, you can insert it into your bag, and with that press out the mesh part a little bit while taking in the upper part, and press on top of that with your cloth. Now, my cutting boards do not have the right measurements, so I'm omitting that part, but I think that would work beautifully. I really press down hard here, and I first go along and do a general press and then I do individual sections once more. And I push the fabric in here from this side and I press it with the iron. And then we'll repeat. You see that a lot of the wonkiness, the fanning out is now gone, and all the stitches are smushed together, but I will repeat it on the other side nevertheless, because while they are, you can still see wrinkles here, so the stitches have not been tightly compressed. The better you get at pressing and forcing this fabric into its intended shape, the neater the bag will look later. I'm so delighted that you are still here and working through this bag with me. Congratulations to making it through another tutorial and to making it through the top part of your bag. And now you get a few days of rest, and then we'll meet again to work on the sides and the border of our bag. Please keep sharing your work and whatever you do using our hashtags so I can find you, I can reshare you. Tag me please if you post on Instagram. I'm really excited to see your masterpieces and to see everything you do. Bye bye and see you soon.